This was a 3-paper, so this is actually a pretty hard one, and I'm really excited to share how to solve this. Okay.
We are looking at server-side template injection, which means that this server runs on the server. This template engine runs on the server. What we're trying to do is we're trying to do something that is not intended, is very powerful on the server. So injecting anything into a new argument that includes text, we can't do, because this code here prevents us from doing anything like that. However, okay, what is important to mention is that we are providing also configuration to the EJS render method. Okay, as we are doing something like that, okay, we need to understand what type of configurations can be in here. And if we look at the configuration, one of the things we can do, okay, in the documentation, we can read it. We can change the delimiter, okay? The characters that are delimiting, that by default are less than, greater than, and %, we can change them to something else. In which case, it's very, very dangerous, because our validation code here counts on it that the delimiters will be less than %, right? And not anything else. So if we change it, we might be able to insert other variables which are not necessarily the intended ones.
Let's see the solution, and then we will see exactly why it's working like that.
Here's the solution. What we'll do is we'll take this, we'll put a template, and instead of the delimiter, we will instruct the delimiter to be, square brackets and a point instead of the bigger than, which will ignore that part, right? We'll not get into this part because we're searching for less than %. And then instead of the variable, we will try to use process.environment champ key, which we know we have because that's the variable here. We'll try to steal it, right? And that's exactly what we'll do. We hit hack, and not surprisingly, we get this, which is the key, because the only thing in our template is that key, okay? And now the next thing, in order to capture the flag, that's not enough, because capturing that is nice, but it's not what the intended response should be. I want to try to inject the evidence, which is this, into my template. And then the last step to capture the flag would be to actually do exactly that. Take the number that we just got, provide it as a champ key, hit hack, and here we go.
Gotcha.
We hacked it. I think it's a good time to go through the takeaways. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do that.
So the main takeaways, we talked about read the manual, right? Read the freaking manual, very important. Whenever we use something, if you don't understand it, copy and paste are a big problem, because I do it as well. I search for a solution for something, I copy and paste, but it's okay to experiment like that. But then when you commit that code, or when you review that code, you need to understand exactly what you're doing, what every parameter is doing. Why are you sending it? Am I sending something that is not needed? Let's remove it. Okay, so we definitely need to think about that. Creation of template from string as a user input string is dangerous. We need to avoid it almost at any cost. Only rarely, there's some apps requiring that flexibility. What we need to do is double down on the sanitization. We need to check the template back and forth and figure out whether this template really is exactly what it needs to be or not. It's pretty hard. So I would recommend against it. I would recommend creating templates in a separate way, or kind of like preset of templates that are controlled and verified, and only incorporating variables. In this case, the entire flexibility is given. This template engine is generally very, very safe. And even with that, I was able to fail here, okay? And lastly, always remember, like, now you're thinking, oh, people saw the code here and they have access to the code, that's why they can do it, but hackers can't do it. No. This is really a problem, because hackers have a lot of ways to identify those things externally. There are processes that help hackers identify the type of template engine that is being used. There are even flowcharts that help you do that. And when you know which template engine is being used, you know which vulnerabilities it has and which ones you can actually take advantage of. Like for example, here you go to this article. Actually, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. In this article, you have a flow chart and even a video that identifies it, that shows you exactly how do you identify which type of engine are we talking about here. Okay, so it's really helpful for hackers, and they don't necessarily need access to the code, so just remember that.